The Minnesota Vikings came into this season with a lot of promise. They thought that they potentially had their franchise quarterback in the bag, ready to go. They got rid of Sam Darnold. They let Daniel Jones walk. They flirted with Aaron Rodgers a little bit and decided not to fully pursue him, despite him basically kind of waiting for them to do so. Instead, they decided to roll with J.J. McCarthy, and we are midway through this season, and it is not looking good. Currently, J.J. McCarthy is probably ranked as the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Things have not been very good for him. The offense has looked terrible with him in. You could argue things looked a lot better when Carson Wentz was in there. Personally, I was a big believer in McCarthy early in the season. I was like, hey, let's get him on the field, but he looks bad. He looks rough. He does not look like he is ready to play NFL football right now. The question is, can we turn that around? Can we get J.J. McCarthy going again, and can we turn him into a great quarterback, or are we going to have to move on and try to find someone else here in this rebuild? Again, we talked about J.J. McCarthy. I think he's going to be the star of this rebuild. We are going to try to make him the franchise quarterback. We are absolutely going to do that, but we're going to have to take things back a little bit. We're going to take away his star development. I don't think he looks like that type of guy right now. He does not look very good. I mean, he seemingly can't read a defense right now. It is a struggle for him out there, missing easy throws, and then sometimes he has a really good throw. So he looks rough right now. We're going to drop that awareness all the way down to 55, actually. We are going to take this all the way back to square one with J.J. McCarthy. He is going to start the rest of the season. Even us taking him down to that 55 awareness, he still has good enough accuracy ratings and other things where he should be good, but he's probably going to struggle in the sim. And we're going to give him the rest of this season and the rest of next season to get things back going. I do think that's where his awareness should be. He just hasn't looked very good. And really, as a whole, this Vikings team has been very disappointing. I mean, Aaron Jones, it's time to wrap it up, buddy. The podcast equipment is calling you. It's time to move on. Justin Jefferson, a career low for him this year. Now, is that because of quarterback play? Yes, it is because of quarterback play, but I do think there's been times where, if you watch these games, where Justin Jefferson doesn't look like he's really given the best effort out there as well. So there's a lot of issues with this team. Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor has made some pretty nice plays, actually, but TJ Hawkinson, he looks slow and old out there. He's only 28, but he looks worn down out there at times. So I think that's something that we're gonna have to look into, getting the tight end position a little bit more youthful. You do got Josh Oliver here, but again, he's 28. These are two older guys. It's probably time to start getting some more youth into that tight end room and, just kind of get it going again. Then you got this offensive line here. You got Brian O'Neill, 29 years old. Again, I've noticed this in Madden 26, is that these guys don't regress as much. These linemen, they kind of stay about the same and then they just retire. So I haven't noticed too much regression in a lot of the rebuilds I've done with the linemen. I feel like that should probably be boosted up slightly a little bit. But again, it's not enough to where I notice it to where it becomes too much of an issue. But you got some guys who are a little bit older. I mean, guys here are 27. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm going to assume the actual center is injured. You got Christian Darrisaw here. I mean, he is the star of this offensive line, the superstar, if you will. And he looks really good. Had a bad rep versus Micah Parsons, but I think a lot of guys do this past weekend. Then you have Donovan Jackson here, rookie, guard. So hopefully we can get him going as well. I'm not too sure what Vikings fans' view of Donovan Jackson is. I watched that game. I didn't notice anything too out of the ordinary with him. But then you got this defense here where, Dallas Turner has played pretty nice. Actually, I think he made some plays. But you got Jonathan Grenard. He is up there in age a little bit. It's weird saying about these guys, but that's just the truth of the matter, is how things get viewed in the NFL. The guy's 28, will be 29. Probably won't be a part of the full rebuild, I don't think, but even though I just said I feel like regression has been tuned down a little bit, maybe to the point where it's been tuned down a little bit too much. Then you got the ageless wonder here, Harrison Smith. I believe he usually retires after the end of the first season normally, so I don't think he'll be here with us that much longer or for long at all, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But again, this Vikings team, it really all comes down to JJ McCarthy and what he can do. I will go in here and get the actual records right, but this is with the most recent patch on Madden 26, and in this patch, we did get a couple new abilities, and one of them is this one right here. Find the right guy. And you get a general scouting buff for all prospects. I think that's a pretty nice one. We're going to put that in, get those kind of 6 weeks here, because we are at the end of the season, and Scout's Honor, we will throw on. I don't know if I'm at the point where I can actually do anything extra in terms of developing players. But we're also going to throw on After School Tutor. So this is with the John Madden inspired archetype, where you do get After School Tutor right away, kind of unlocked. So that is pretty cool. But I'm going to go through the end of the season. I'll see you there. We'll see how we do. I doubt this team makes the playoffs, but Madden Sim can be weird sometimes. So we end the season at 5-12, do not make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure we actually lose out. Take a look at the schedule real quick, just kind of see how things fared. Why does it always do the damn preseason thing? That's so annoying. So let's see. I did force win the Packers loss, and it's actually, they got it almost accurate. They didn't score a touchdown, but pretty close. And the lone win came versus the Giants. So basically lose out the rest of the way. And yeah, so not going to be using a real draft class this time. I feel like we've kind of used those a little too much recently, and I've kind of gotten pretty good at knowing that draft class. I'm going to wait a while to use those again. Do have some upgrades here, and this is going to have to be field general. We have to get JJ McCarthy's accuracy up. His awareness has to be back up after I lowered it. I decided to do that on my own accord. But I think it was the right move to make. We gotta, we gotta be honest with where JJ McCarthy is as a player, even if Madden isn't going to be. But yes, slowly earning that awareness back. We'll go take a look at the stats too. We're gonna just do the rest of these upgrades, and we're gonna go take a look at these stats. And just remember, these are mostly based off of what's already occurred real life. And JJ McCarthy, 2,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. He is throwing just terrible interceptions. He's a quarterback under duress right now in real life. And you might have to play Max Brosmer here in real life. I mean, that's legitimately a situation that might happen. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, this running game, I feel like has completely fallen off in Minnesota. It's just not what it was a few years ago. I think they could be a sneaky team that, Justin Jefferson, probably the lowest numbers of his career, only 2 touchdowns. I think the Vikings could be a sneaky team that could draft Jeremiah Love. If I'm being in real life, I think they're one of those teams that could consider that. Sacks on the year, 9 for Andrew Van Ginkel. Jonathan Grenard, 7.5. Jonathan Allen with 7. Javon Hargrave with 4. So, I mean, it's not like the defense has been terrible for Minnesota. It's just the offense cannot put up points this year. Feels like a trend in the NFL as a whole, honestly. But we're going to get to the offseason, and we're going to try to get this thing right. So, we have a ton of retirements here. Not a ton. Well, 5 is a decent bit, but Nick Vanette, Adam Thielen. Weird that they only have a Minnesota picture of him. Adam Thielen played for the Vikings for a bajillion years. I'm sure you have a picture of him in a Vikings uniform lying around somewhere. Ryan Kelly, our starting center, Javon Hargrave, and CJ Ham all call it quits. So we're going to have to replace, really, Ryan Kelly, I think, is the most important thing. Adam Thielen's whatever. Javon Hargrave, yeah, tight end room, needed to get younger anyway, so we'll get to work on that. So, taking a look here at the player re-signings, we are going to let all of these guys walk. Every last single one of them, we are going to let walk. We do not have cap space. Well, we have cap space, not a whole lot, but, it's just we're going to let these guys walk. I think the only guy I'm actually interested in bringing back is Jalen Redmond. but I don't know. We just barely have enough money to bring him back, and we want to have like a defensive line. He's going to test free agency, so that's not going to work. So yeah, everyone's going to walk. This Vikings team is in such a weird spot. I mean, you know, usually when you have the young rookie quarterback, you have a ton of cap space to make things happen. This Vikings team really doesn't. It's really weird that they did not. This team really was in a win now mode. You really think when you think about it, they probably should have brought back Darnold for another 2 years. Should have maybe kept Daniel Jones around for another 2 years. Brought in Aaron Rodgers or something for 2 years. They should have did something. JJ McCarthy, he's super young. You know, you didn't have to get him on the field right away. He could have sat and waited a couple years and kind of learned how to be an NFL quarterback. But we have to fix this mess. We'll try. All right, first trade of the franchise is going to be Jonathan. We cannot do this trade because the salary cap is. What are you offering me the trade for if I can't do it? Okay, well, I thought that was going to be the first trade of the franchise. Can I do this one? We'll do that one. We get an extra corner and a bunch of picks. Appreciate that, Madden. I thought we had a trade there. Apparently not. I thought wrong. These old guys, we're getting them out of here. Andrew Van Ginkel. You're getting traded, pal. And you are being moved. We are getting rid of you. We don't want you around here anymore. We appreciate you for everything you did. But you're getting traded. And that's just what it's going to be. And I'll take Quentin Johnston. Maybe he can get it started here in Minnesota. And another trade we're going to look to do here, TJ Hawkinson. Just going to get him out of here as well. And we're looking around here, see if we could find anything that we really like. T'Vondre Sweat. And we're going to pick up T'Vondre Sweat. So there we go. I think that's going to do it for any trades that we're actually going to do. Brian O'Neill, right tackle. Going to get traded, honestly. Going to be traded. We could get Andrew Van Ginkel back, actually. But that's not what we're going to do. You know, the reason why I'm doing this is he is 30. Now, I know in Madden, I feel like I have to say this every time. I do know that, you know, how do I say this? The regression it doesn't hit as hard as it used to in Madden, but I do feel like this is something that we can do. Still pick up some picks here. Trayvon Diggs, that's interesting. If I don't see anything I like, we're not going to do it. Billy Bowman Jr., young player. We get a 2027 second round pick and a 6 and a 7. So I'll take that as well. Again, got to clear some space here. And we do end up having a lot of cap room actually now. So we can go into free agency, try to make something happen. And, you know, yeah. Let's see. Is there anything at center that I'm interested in? And the answer is not a whole lot, but, you know, Connor McGovern, we're going to have to pay him some money to make this happen. So we're going to see if we can maybe get Connor McGovern. Going to need another right tackle. And because we did trade O'Neill away. Granted, the reason I did that because I figured that we could potentially draft someone later on. See if there's a decent left tackle in free agency that has some youth to them. Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. We can offer him like a 2-year deal. We could just move Trevor Penning to right tackle. He likes that offer. And in terms of defensive tackle, we probably do need some more edge help as well. We still have Jonathan Grenard on the team. Not going to trade him just yet, or not going to trade him now. But is there anything that's like youthful that is decent here? And the answer is really no. There's nothing here that's like really interesting to me. Kingsley Inabare actually is a guy like, we have Dallas Turner, so I don't think we're going to do that. And I don't think we're going to do much else in free agency. Nakobe Dean, we actually do need some linebacker help. Nakobe Dean of Titans franchise fame. We'll see if he's interested in that. Cody Barton, we could just reform my linebacking room from Titans franchise, which you should all go and watch. Let's see. Any decent speed here? I usually don't take this long in free agency. But I am this episode, so. And who has good awareness? Cody Barton. I mean, Cody Barton just kind of makes sense, and he's relatively cheap, and he has superstar dev, even though I don't think that really matters. So that's going to be our free agency. If it happens, if it doesn't, we'll have to draft some guys. Evaluate the offers. George Pickens goes to the Commanders. My signings, we get Penning and we get McGovern. We're targeting Nakobe Dean, and the Titans really want him. I'm going to assume that means the Titans probably. Let's go very player friendly, because I really actually do want Nakobe Dean. I'd rather not have to bother around with free agency for linebackers or anything like that, or waste draft capital on one. My signings, did we not even get him? So it looks like we didn't even get him. We did not get Nakobe Dean. That is very disappointing. That is kind of who I wanted to get. So I'll figure something out. So for linebacker, we end up getting Nicholas Moreau and Chris Barnes. So a really big downgrade, in my opinion, from what I wanted to get, but it is what it is. We trade Aaron Jones for a 6th round pick. That's probably the best we could get for him. So we are here now in the draft. Sim to our first pick, which is going to be pick number 8. And we probably have we could kind of go wherever we want with this pick, honestly. We could go with this edge player, round 1 to 2 talent. This defensive tackle looked pretty decent, honestly. He has B block trading, B finesse moves, B power moves, B tackling. His physicals are great speed, great strength, great change of direction. Everything looks really good here with Nick Nava. Another player that I thought about, Nick Nava, of course. We have that guy. And there is one other player, and it was this middle linebacker. B block shedding, B tackle, B zone coverage. The only issue is his pursuit is a D. But he has elite speed, elite jumping, good strength. But really, everything else looks really good. His coverage ratings, B man coverage. He also has, where's zone coverage? B zone coverage as well. He looks really good, honestly. I feel like you can always get good defensive tackles in Madden. So I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to take Garrett Kirkpatrick with this pick. I wanted to get a better middle linebacker. 47 in true value. He does have hidden dev though, so I'm willing to kind of take that and be happy with it. We're actually going to take a look at our NFL roster real quick. I don't normally do this, but they said our strongest position was defensive tackle, and we do have Tavondre Sweat, but we need more help on this defensive line, and we are going to trade back in. We're going to try to trade back in. We're going to take a quick look here at our draft board and our favorites. And it is Nick Nava. I would really like to get Nick Nava. We're going to simulate a little bit. And if he doesn't go within the next couple picks, there's Kurt Black going. If he doesn't go by the Rams, and there Nick Nava goes right there to the Dolphins. So I thought about trading back in. If he didn't go when he went, I think I would have went and did it, but we are just going to move on to our next user pick. So the second round of the draft, we have a center prospect here, Eddie Martinez. And he looks really good, honestly. A, awareness, A, pass block power, A, run block, B, pass block. He looks really good, honestly. We're going to compare him to this other center right here. And yeah, I don't know. This guy looks like he has some good stuff too, but I think Eddie Martinez looks a little bit better. We're going to actually go straight into center. We're going to get a good look at this, and then we're going to go with the physicals. And Eric Torres has great acceleration, elite agility, elite change of direction, good jumping, elite speed, solid strength. So this is interesting, actually, because Torres has a couple elite things that I feel that Eddie Martinez doesn't have. So that's kind of interesting here. This guy also looks really good. Joey Colon. That's a very unfortunate name to have. He also looks really good too. There's a couple decent center prospects. I'm gonna go with my gut here, and I'm going to go with Eric Torres. We are gonna go with Eric Torres. That's what we're gonna go with. So I'm gonna be very disappointed if he's not as good. 72 in true value. Does have hidden dev. So I think that's a good pick. We'll have to see what Martinez ends up being, because he looked pretty good as well. And he ends up going the next pick to the Texans, actually. So we come back here, third pick of the draft, and I feel like we're doing all right now. We do need to get another defensive tackle in this draft. Could also use tight end help because we did trade away a tight end. And looking around here, this tight end, he looks all right, honestly. Juan Valdez, physicals, great speed, great jumping. And blocking isn't great. Spec catch is good. And we're going to take a shot on Juan Valdez here in this round. And they're going to say that's a reach. But he also has normal dev. 86 speed, not bad for a tight end. So, again, want to get some defensive tackles, but the board just kind of hasn't fallen that way for us just yet. And, it just hasn't. So we're going to go here, this is going to be the last pick I make. I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest here. We're going to see if we can find, it seems like the CPU is scouting lots of quarterbacks. I'm not sure why that's like the default, where they just scout quarterbacks. Very odd. Any of these guys look good. This guy is B awareness, B play rec, B to D, C block shedding, B hit power. And this guy here, this UDFA, let's see what's going on here. He has great strength, elite acceleration, A tackle, B impact block, B block shedding, B power moves, A play rec, B awareness. We're going to take him right now. I know he's technically, and there we go. Rank number 33 in true value. Again, it's very easy to find defensive tackle. That's why I wasn't too worried about hidden dev as well. 93 strength. That's why I wasn't worried about passing on that other defensive tackle and taking that Mike linebacker. You can always find really good defensive tackles in the draft. And we're going to skip ahead, actually, because there was another UDFA defensive tackle that looked pretty decent, honestly. We don't pick until the 6th round. We have a couple picks in this round. We're going to make this pick, and then we're going to have the CPU handle the rest here. But there was another defensive tackle that was a UDFA that looked interesting. He maybe got taken by then. But there was someone else down here who I, again, saw with the A play rec. That's just kind of something you should look for on these guys. And it was DeMarcus Hardison. B awareness, A play rec, B finesse moves, B block shedding, B tackle. Yeah, he looks pretty good, honestly. And great strength, elite acceleration, good agility. Everything else is pretty good as well. So it's going to be DeMarcus Hardison as well. Going to nab ourselves another defensive tackle who also has hidden dev, 93 strength. They might have to do something about defensive tackles being so cheesy in this game in terms of the draft, but we nabbed two awesome defensive tackles late in this draft. and I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest. So, draft recap, and I have to say, honestly, I think we did pretty good here. Garrett Kirkpatrick looks really good, honestly, 74 overall. Everything looks really good with him, honestly. So, I do like that pick out of Notre Dame, hidden dev, and yeah, play rec, that has to go higher. Zone coverage, we're definitely going to want that to get higher, but everything's in a pretty good space, I think, to eventually be really good. Man coverage, again, those are all things that are going to have to get better, but he's young, only 21 years old, and we expect him to get better. Eric Torres looks pretty good as well. Hidden dev. Pass block could use some help in terms of the power. I think all of his power stuff could use help, but that's what developing is. He's 22. Juan Valdez, 23. Probably a reach on my part. And then Alani Rayford and DeMarcus Hardison. I mean, both of these guys, big, powerful dudes, and block shedding at a 75. Finesse moves, needs work, but I think he'll be pretty good for us, honestly. So I'm very happy with both of those defensive tackles. It's just easy to find good defensive tackles. That's why, again, I did pass on that one. Now, I am interested to go back here and see something. Nick Nava, 76 overall. He does have hidden dev, but he's not too far off from what we got later in the draft anyway, so I'm not, again, all that upset by it. We did take a center here, Eric Torres, and Eddie Martinez was a 74 overall, and they're not too dissimilar, honestly. Key ratings are pretty much the same. This is almost the same player. I'm interested to see Eddie Martinez, normal dev, actually, and yeah, so I think we made the right pick there going with Torres, because Torres has hidden dev, so at the very least he has star, so I think that was a good decision on our part. So this is going to be the team for year number 1, not too different from last year, except our starting center. We do have Torres here waiting in the wings, and shout out to the CPU because it did draft us a right tackle. He has hidden dev, probably not going to start this year, but good strength, everything looks pretty good here. Got to get the finesse stuff of his game a lot better, but we might have our right tackle of the future moving forward on roster. Apart from that, everything else is about the same. The tight end room isn't great. I did want to upgrade it. It kind of just didn't happen. Trevor Penning, it's not great, but it is what it is. We were in a weird position, and that's what we had to put together. So defensively, I think we look really good. This defensive line, I think, looks awesome. This looks like a pretty kick-ass defensive line, if I'm being honest. Tavondre Sweat, this guy, Rayford, and Hardison, they look pretty awesome. Could not trade Harrison Smith. I did want to, just couldn't find a trade partner for him. Linebacker room looks pretty good, honestly. With the additions made in free agency and drafting Kirkpatrick, really should be pretty good right here. Cornerback room is okay. It's young. I don't know what to think of this team right now. It really depends on how the offense goes. If the offense is great, we should sneak into the playoffs, if I'm being honest. But if we don't, then who really knows? But we got Quentin Johnston there in the slot. We're going to try to let him put up a bunch of stats in case we deal with the situation, which is really possible because I believe his free agency is coming up soon, is Jordan Addison. I think he'll be a free agent soon. He might want a lot of money. I don't know if we'll be able to re-sign him. I'll try to re-sign him, but it's possible we don't have the money to re-sign him. So I will see you at the midseason mark, checking in with how we're doing, and we're taking on the Titans in week 1. Okay, so we are bad. We are 1-6 on the season. Things are not looking very good. Stats, let's take a look here. JJ McCarthy, it's a struggle still. 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 54% completion percentage, only 179 yards per game. It's not good here right now. There's no other way to put it. Jordan Mason, whatever, receiving wise, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, he's probably getting fed up here. Josh Oliver, it's not beautiful. It's not good at all here. But the issue here is that defensively, we're actually holding up. 6.5 sacks here. You got Dallas Turner, DeMarcus Hardison, Gabriel Murphy, Blake Cashman. I mean, we are holding up defensively. Actually, I'll go show you our wins and losses. Some interceptions there. We're holding up defensively. We're not like giving up tons. We did get blown out by the Jets, which is very disappointing. But every other game, you know, you're in it, and it's probably the offense. I mean, 7-6 win versus the Falcons. So defensively, this team hasn't fallen off a cliff. It's just that right now the offense is not where we need it to be, and a lot of that comes down to the quarterback. But we're going to stick with J.J. McCarthy through the rest of this season and next season. But if we're still seeing the same results, we will have to look into a different quarterback. So things actually get worse here. We go 3-14. Talk about going backwards here in Minnesota. JJ McCarthy, I mean, this is just bad. 19 touchdowns to 18 interceptions. We might have to just pull the plug on this. Jordan Mason, almost to 1,000 yards, though. I guess that's a slight positive. No receiver got to 1,000 yards. Even doing the slot cheese with Quentin Johnston, he just put up a so-so season. Yeah, I mean, not very good for being entirely honest here. Jonathan Grenard, though, 15 sacks. 9 for Dallas Turner. DeMarcus Hardison got 7. Tavondre Sweat with 4. And, Lonnie Rayford with half one. He didn't play too much. I believe he was our 3rd defensive tackle. So, very disappointing season, but I think someone expected we may have to look at a quarterback. I did not scout any quarterbacks just because I figured I don't think we have to look at a quarterback, but we might have to look at a quarterback, and we've kind of been in the quarterback conversation the entire time here, it looks like, for every mock draft. So it looks like everyone else is kind of given up on J.J. McCarthy. I think 9's time is coming to an end here in Minnesota. Okay, so we are here looking at our options, and J.J. McCarthy, 5th-year option coming up. We are going to decline that option. We are not going to accept it. He has not shown that he is someone that we can rely on moving forward. I mean, it's just not. He just has not been that player, and it's not going to happen. So Quentin Johnston, I would like to bring back, actually, if he's interested. And he is interested in coming back. And Jordan Mason, 28, we're going to let him walk. Isaiah Rodgers Sr., we're going to let him walk. And that's going to do it. So that's who we're all bringing back. Let's get into free agency and try to make this team better. All right, so free agency for us is finished. We signed a punter, an extra linebacker, Malik Hooker, Harrison Smith, we're going to let walk, Kendre Miller, Darnell Washington, and Owen Papo to give us a little bit of linebacking depth right there. But that's all we're going to do in free agency, honestly. Nothing else is really all that interesting. So on to the draft. We're going to make a trade here with the New York Giants. Jonathan Grenard going to New York for Abdul Carter, a 5th round and a 7th round pick. We can't make the trade because of salary cap restrictions. Seriously. What is going on with this? Why can't I make this trade? Would put them over the cap. Well, give me another player with some money. Let's see here. Who could I nab for them to make this work financially? That they wouldn't miss. That they wouldn't miss. So I'm gonna have to find someone that they won't miss because this game's stupid. Give me this linebacker. And another bench player, scrub. Yeah, give me that guy too. And then I will throw in, because we're doing this a really stupid way, here's an additional 5. Let's see, will that work? And that does work. There we go. So we get Abdul Carter, 2 random ass linebackers. We swap. They get a 5th round pick this year. We get a 5th round pick next year. and a 7th round pick next year, and we get Abdul Carter as well. So we get younger because Gernard is starting to regress a little bit. So we're going to get a younger player, and maybe they feel like they get a player that they can go win now with. Maybe the Giants are more in a win now position than we are, and maybe things haven't been working out with Abdul Carter. Maybe he doesn't like his usage. It has kind of been an issue with the Giants in real life, so I don't know. That's why I'm going to rationalize this. But we pick up Abdul Carter. So it is time to do our private workouts, and this is going to be pretty simple. Since we're picking at basically the top of the draft, we are going with all the quarterbacks here. And yeah, honestly, this guy does not look very good. This DeMar Spencer. Actually, never mind. He looks fine. So all three of the top quarterbacks, that's who we're going to focus our scouting on. That's why when you actually do these franchises, you should probably never make your national scout quarterbacks, because if you're looking for a quarterback, when you get to this point of the offseason, you can just, pick the 3 quarterbacks that you think look the best, and then you'll get 100% scouting on them. So you should never make your national scout, or really any of your scouts, focused on quarterback. That's not something you should really ever do. So take a look here at these quarterbacks that we just took a look at, and only one of them is an actual top 5 talent. Spencer, my gut was right, is a round 3 to 4 talent, but it is Gerard Curry. He is the best quarterback in this class, as top 5 true talent, elite throw power, good strength, and the skills to match. So that might be the pick for us here when we get into the draft. So here we are opening up the draft. The Jets have 3 first round picks. I believe this is after the update where they have all their trades in, but we're going to make our selection. This is super easy, and it is going to be Gerard Curry, quarterback out of Washington. That's who we looked at. So he is going to stay in purple. He is the number 2 true value player in this class, and we got him at number 1. So what a great move by me. 98 throw power, acceleration. So JJ McCarthy, the JJ McCarthy era is done here, or as some people call it, the JJ McCarthy error is done in Minnesota. That is finished. 9 can go be a demon someplace else. So we are making a trade with the New York Jets here. We are jumping back into the first round. We're going to trade pick 40, pick 66, a 5th round next year, a 5th round next year, and a 1st rounder next year as well, to jump up to number 7. And they do accept this trade. Why am I trading away Tavondre Sweat, right? We just acquired him last year. Why are we doing this? Well, I found a player that I want to draft. It's another defensive tackle. He is a top 5 talent in this draft, and we're going to jump up and we're going to nab him. Rashad Swede out of Miami. We're jumping up for him here. We're going to grab him at number 7 here. Could not afford to let him not be there on the board when I was there. There was a run on defensive tackles, and I wanted to get him. And he looks pretty hyped up to be a Minnesota Viking. So we continue to build this defensive line, those UDFAs last year, and now a top 5 projected player, or top 5 true talent. And Rashad Swede is the number 5 true value player in the draft. We got him at number 7. Hidden dev, 97 strength, 80 acceleration, and his stats actually look really good. A play rec, B block shedding, A power moves, C finesse moves, A tackling, B impact blocking. I think that does help them, actually. But that's the move we're going to make here, so I'll see you later in the draft. So back in the draft here, our 2nd round pick, this is going to be Pat Valentine, a tight end. Still want to get the tight end room good. We're good at there's some good receivers in this class. It's just that we already have a lot of receivers, so I don't feel the need to go out and get another one in the draft. And Pat Valentine, I got to get the tight end position correct. And he is ranked number 64 in true value, does have hidden dev though, so that at the very least that is a star dev. We hope for more. We expect that to be a star though. You hope for a superstar, but I usually just expect these to be star players if I'm being honest. So we have another pick here and the third round, top of the third round. So if there are 80 more receivers left that I liked, we'll absolutely consider it, but I'm not expecting it. Some corners left here. Nothing all that impressive though, if I'm being entirely honest. We'll take a look around. Here there is a receiver here, Eddie Morales, 5'9". There is a running back. I did scout running backs. First time I actually ever have done that. It's just, I'm not seeing anything all that interesting in running back that like really interested me. So I think we might just go with Morales here. Take a look here. A catching, B catching traffic, F deep route, D release. You don't like that. And he's not really all that impressive, if I'm being honest. So that's not going to happen. There is a safety here. Do we know another tight end too? Strong safety, D man coverage. He has but D zone coverage. That's not really interesting either, if I'm being honest. Kyle Beckham. That's not interesting at all either. This is where things get tough at times because it feels like I'm just not seeing anything all that interesting, if I'm being honest. Earl Kierman, and also doesn't look that interesting, if I'm being honest. Yeah, this is where things get kind of tough, honestly. Julius Favors. We don't need another edge player, but he does have elite strength. Might as well just take a shot in the dark here, if I'm being honest. And ranked number 48 in true value. Drafted him at number 65, and he does have hidden dev, so maybe if Dallas Turner doesn't want to stick around or doesn't work out, we have a guy kind of waiting in the wings potentially. But I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft. So, draft recap here, and Gerard Curry is an 82 overall. That's a clear upgrade over one JJ McCarthy. Looks like a finished product already, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback rated that highly. The defensive tackle we trade up to is already a 79 overall. So pretty similar with where Tavondre Sweat already was as a multi-year veteran. We go out here, get this guy right now. Got him locked up for 5 years. So Pat Valentine is a 73 overall. Favors is a 74. I did make one other pick. It was Junior Streets, a backup running back. He is a 72 overall, and the rest of the way was all of the CPU. They found a 68 overall corner here. Anything special? No hidden dev on that. You always have to check these because sometimes they scout some hidden dev guys. Left guard, just a 66 overall guy as well. So nothing too interesting there. I'll see you for the start of season number 2. All right, so the start of season number 2, really truthfully for us. And, the roster, I think it's actually pretty decent, honestly. I think, right tackle isn't good, but we're going to give Peppers a starting job and just kind of let him try to take it from there. Valentine, we are going to give him the starting job as well. Kind of want to just get him going. Still got Justin Jefferson, who is starting to get up there in age a little bit, honestly. So potentially could be his last season. Depending on how things go mid-season, he could be potentially out of here, honestly. But new starting quarterback, no longer 9 JJ McCarthy. It's going to be Jared Curry, already an 85 overall. So he is looking pretty good for us right now. Hopefully he can lead this Vikings team further than 9 ever could. But let's see what we have when we get to the midseason mark. Okay, so we are looking pretty good here at the midseason mark of the season. Are coming off of a loss to the Chargers, but 5-2 on the season. That's a lot better than we've done the past 2. And Curry is playing very well for us, actually leading the league in passing yards. 10 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And Kendre Miller is okay. Justin Jefferson, back to having a pretty good look here. Ty Felton kind of stepping up a little bit as well. Quentin Johnston, not so much. Pat Valentine playing pretty well, 2 touchdowns on the season so far for him. And then defensively, how are we doing? And Dallas Turner with 9 sacks, DeMarcus Hardison with 6 sacks, Abdul Carter with 4.5, Drew Tranquil, Garrett Kirkpatrick with a sack, Alani Rayford, Gabriel Murphy, and yeah, so Rashad Sweed with only half a sack, does have some TFLs though, but clearly not our main defensive tackle just yet. So that is what it is right there. But in terms of interceptions, we're actually getting some decent turnovers here. Malik Hooker playing pretty well for us actually. So that's pretty nice. But that's not what I want to do. Let's go take a look here at Curry's hit dev trait, and it is Gerard Curry. Why did I say Pat? He has Superstar X Factor, so that is a massive, massive win for us. I mean, it's easy when you're picking at the top of the draft to get a player like that, but it's clear that we needed just something different at quarterback. It's pretty clear 9 is not the guy, so I'm not sure where he's going to end up going. Valentine, also a star dev player, kind of what I expected. Swede is our defensive tackle number 2, so he just has not gotten the chance to play yet. And Julius Favors also is a hidden dev player. When I was doing one of his upgrades, I did see one of the ability slot unlocks, so he clearly is a superstar at the very least. So potentially Dallas Turner, but he's up to superstar as well. So it's kind of interesting. We are in a really nice position here in terms of just depth at the edge position. Got to get better depth at corner, I think. Got to get some safeties in here. Probably have to get a better running mate for Kirkpatrick, but apart from that, things are going pretty good. So we look like we're in a good position to potentially make the playoffs here. We are leading the NFC North, so I'll check back in with you then. Now we'll see how we're doing. Okay, so we did make the playoffs here in year number 2 of the rebuild officially. We made it 11-6. Let's go take a look at the stats for quarterback Jared Curry. And he was great. 35 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. He is up to Superstar X Factor. We already know that, but had a great year. Kendre Miller, 12 touchdowns. Just 3 touchdowns for Junior Streets as well. But again, like I said, I just haven't been able to ever get a receiver to play great in Sim. And Justin Jefferson came alive here. 1,600 receiving yards, 11 touchdowns, 8 for Addison with 1,100 yards. Ty Felton kind of starting to find his groove here. And then Pat Valentine, that's what I'm getting these guys all mixed up here. But Pat Valentine with 600 yards, 6 touchdowns, and Darnell Washington with 2 touchdowns on the season as well. Josh Oliver just kind of hanging out here, getting some touchdowns as well. Defensively, wow, look at all this pressure we were able to generate here with Dallas Turner coming alive here, DeMarcus Hardison coming alive, Abdul Carter, 9.5 sacks, Drew Tranquil with 5 sacks, Garrett Kirkpatrick with 3, Alani Rayford with 3, Gabriel Murphy with 2.5, Austin Ijack with 2, Azari Thomas with 1 for Josh Metellus, and a half for all these other guys down here as well. And a ton of interceptions this year as well. 5 interceptions for Byron Murphy, 3 for Drew Tranquil. I just said that really weird. I sound like a little baby saying that, but a lot of turnovers too. So our defense played well, offense played well, and now it's time to go see if we can beat the Rams in the wildcard round. All right, so here we are, big end of game drive, 3:10 left. Let's see if we can try to get a touchdown here. And we just can't get that one to Justin Jefferson. But there is a flag on the play, and they are going to call pass interference here. And we are absolutely going to accept that. Keep the chains moving. And we're going to get right to midfield here. And this will give us a great opportunity to at very least either tie this thing up or try to take the lead here with a touchdown. But big play right there now over the sideline right there. Justin Jefferson. We're going to chew the clock here. I do have a new kind of setup here where I am able to more easily do kind of live commentary for you guys. So first time doing this, and we're going to find Justin Jefferson right there. He gets a Just a big burst of speed right there. And we are lined up here. We are in basically great position right here. 2-minute warning now. Now might be a situation where we maybe want to slow this down a little bit. We're going to try a screenplay real quick here. These might make the videos a little bit longer, but I do think it's kind of interesting to get some actual gameplay in here. Going to call a screenplay, get a block, get another block, get another block, and Kendre Miller goes in for the score. Touchdown. That is going to give us the lead here, and we're going to try to make a stop and see if we can do it here. So just got to make one stop, get off the field, and we are moving on to the NFC divisional round here. So we got everyone in here, and going to rally to the ball carrier right there. And yeah, so they still have Sean McVay. They have a different quarterback, though. I'm not sure who this is. I don't think it's a real-life quarterback. Trying to create some pressure here. Down goes their quarterback. It's Abdul Carter. And at this point, we can kind of just almost pin our ears back and just come after the quarterback because they're going to throw this football. They have to throw this football. Trying to get to him. And it's going to be Malik Hooker almost shutting this one down. Almost turning off their lights. 4th and 13 here, and we're going to try to get after him here. We're going to see if we can get some more pressure. Try to get into here. We do get some pressure, and that's going to be picked off. Malik Hooker redeems himself. Malik Hooker, can he take this one all the way? Malik Hooker still going, shoved out of bounds at the 4. Interception, Malik Hooker. And we are going to get out of here with a victory. We're going to just run a couple more plays. Try to shut this one off. They still have some timeouts, though. And they could still try to force a field goal here. But we're going to get to the outside here. Kendre Miller. 4th quarter, Kendre Miller putting the knife in the Rams' season here. And we're going to get out of here 31-20 with the victory. We are moving on to the NFC divisional round. So let's see who we're playing there. But Jared Curry in his first playoff test passes with flying colors. All right, so NFC divisional round, we are taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We are higher rated them in everything except defense, so should be a good game. We'll see how we can do here in this one in Curry's second playoff action. Second game of playoff action. I don't know why I said that so weird. All right, end of game opportunity here. I believe they're going to punt the football away. They are at midfield. I'm not sure about this. We'll stay in. Maybe they're going to do a little bit of some fake stuff here, but yeah, punting the ball back here midfield. This isn't even a particularly good punt, honestly. So very cowardly decision, if I'm being honest, but okay, we'll come in. We'll see if we can try to get this thing to field goal range and try to move on and try to get to the NFC Championship game. So quick throw right here to Valentine. Big hit right there. And not sure why they're bothering me here with that. We're just going to come right in here and play this out. We don't need to do moments at this point. So at this point, we're just trying to get the field goal range. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but at the very least, maybe across midfield, some decent blocking right there for Kendre Miller. And he's going to pick up the first down. We're going to try to hurry this thing up. Clock's still ticking and he's celebrating, so we're going to try to get to the line here. I want to get at least one more play in before the 2-minute warning. Mashing the X button, and we're just going to pick up a couple yards on that play. So not the best here. Going to try to just do coach suggestions, not going to my favorites. Going to try to hit Jefferson here on this little route. And we do hit him, and we're going to get just close to picking up the first down. We're going to go hurry up again. Do we have just a normal run play? We do. We're going to go here, hike the football, well into field goal range now, in my opinion. And I think we can kind of start chewing this clock down and try to get in position to kick a field goal. A little surprised they're not calling their timeouts, but oh, they definitely snuck that one. They sniffed that one out. We're still, I lied, I'm going to my favorites. We're still going to just chew some clock here. I don't know. I mean, this could be a pretty long kick, but We're going to hike this football here. Can we get to Jefferson? We cannot. We're going to get to Felton. I'm going to call a timeout ourselves, actually. Give us some time here. 26 seconds left. So this would be, what, around a 55-ish yard field goal attempt? Not the easiest, but we do have Valentine here. And Valentine going to get out of bounds. 20 seconds left. We do have some timeouts left, so we can run this football, try to get this clock a little bit further down, get them to burn their timeouts, kick a field goal here, and get out of here. Yes, I'm not playing on all Madden. If you think I'm going to play on all Madden for a rebuild video, you are out of your goddamn mind. That is stressful enough with Titans franchise. The nonsense that game mode has, there's no way in hell I'm doing that for that. So they are not going to call a timeout here. We're going to let this go all the way down. 2 seconds. Call a timeout. I'm sure they're going to call a timeout. They are going to call a timeout. I'm not sure why you would even call a timeout on a chip shot field goal like this, but okay. Maybe we miss it. Possibly. I don't know. I don't think we're going to miss this. Up, away, and that is good. And we beat the Buccaneers. And we are on our way to the NFC Championship game here. 13-10. Thrilling game, low scoring, and the Buccaneers, their run ends in the divisional round. So, NFC Championship game, and it's a good old-fashioned classic NFC North matchup here. Vikings, Packers. I would say this past weekend, maybe a lot of Vikings fans, their hope of JJ McCarthy, their thought process of JJ McCarthy being that franchise quarterback, I think that maybe just came to an end versus this team. Well, now we have a different quarterback here. We have Jared Curry, a guy who is already looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in his rookie season. Can we go into Lambeau, beat the Packers, and go to the Super Bowl? Let's find out. So, NFC Championship game is really going our way. They're going for it here on 4th and 1. We'll come in here, see if we can do something. 2-minute warning, try to shut them out here and put out the Packers' lights on their season in this NFC Championship game, and they are going to pick up the first down. Someone had a really good block right there. Going to continue on here. They're going for the onside kick. We're going to let them, and we are going to end this here. So we are moving on to the Super Bowl here, technically in year 2, kind of year 3, but year 2 of us having full control of the team. And all it took was a brand new quarterback, JJ McCarthy, watching this team go to the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, he's the backup for it all. So we have made it to the Super Bowl. We're taking on the 10-7 Los Angeles Superchargers. Let's see if we can win. We are a better overall than them. 88 offense. They have an 84 defense, so it is slightly better than our defense. But overall, we are the better team. So I think we should do pretty well here. All right, 2 minutes to go in the Super Bowl. Decided to jump in here, try to close this thing out. We're going to throw it, and we do catch it. 3rd and 4 coming up here. I really don't like any of these play calls. Yeah, that looks good. So we're going to come out here, try to put this thing away. I mean, we're in a good position right now, but first down would absolutely do it, and that is going to do it right there. That is a tight window throw right there by Curry, and one kneel down is going to do it, and we're actually going up against Andrew Van Ginkel, I believe. Yes, Andrew Van Ginkel's on this team, so former Viking is going to lose to us here in the Super Bowl 28-23. And in Jared Curry's first year as the starting quarterback, he wins the Super Bowl his rookie year. He does what I believe was Dan Marino, went to the Super Bowl his rookie year, did lose, never got back to it. And we're up here and we're able to do it, win the Super Bowl in Curry's rookie season with JJ McCarthy still on the roster. So we come into free agency. We're going to do our final year here. And Abdul Carter, we're going to accept that option. Donovan Jackson, I do want to keep. So we're going to, well, we have a lot of options that we're going to have to accept here. JJ McCarthy is not going to be back for us. Neither is this guy. Connor McGovern, not going to be back for us. Neither is Gabriel Murphy. This guy isn't. Trevor Penning's not going to be back. So there's a lot of guys who aren't going to be back who aren't very good. Or our kicker, definitely want to keep. I don't get why the kickers always seem like in a bad mood and like, I want to get out of here. I feel like these things should maybe take into account these are kickers we're talking about. So Justin Jefferson, or Jordan Addison, excuse me, I do want to keep. And he's willing to stay and keep playing for a great organization. Byron Murphy Jr. is a little bit older, but is only asking for a 1-year deal. And I am willing to do that. And he is willing to come back as well. Is older, but again, you do want to keep guys like that around, I think. And Malik Hooker, 1-year deal. All right, he thinks free agents will be better for him in the long run. I disagree with that, but we're going to let all those players walk, and we're going to go into free agency and see what we can find to strengthen this roster for the last year of this rebuild. All right, so free agency finished and done here. We bring in a new kicker, Brandon Aubrey. We bring back Isaiah Rodgers after he left us for a season. Sure. We brought in another linebacker, two more linebackers just for some depth. So that's really all we had to do in free agency. Nothing really major. Our offensive line is set. I suppose I could maybe look for another tight end. I think that's the only other thing that we could possibly do, just to bring in a spare tight end. Nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to bring in anyone for like super long term, but we have AJ Barner here. Actually, we're fine at tight end, so I was wrong. We don't have to do that. Receiver, I think we're fine at receiver. Honestly, I don't think we have to bring in anyone else. No, our top 3 receivers are fine, so we're good there. Good at running back. So that's going to do it for free agency for us. And one other signing for us is going to be Evan Williams. We steal him away from the Packers, bring him in here. A lot younger than Malik Hooker, who did not want to re-sign with us. So there we go. Strengthen up the secondary a little bit. We also brought in Marquise Bell. So secondary gets a little bit better. And I think we kind of fortify that a little bit. So on to the draft. We don't have a first round pick. Remember, we traded that with the Jets. So we are in the draft. We, again, did not have a first round pick because we traded that thing away. Now, in terms of what we're going to do in the draft, what I'm looking for, I would have liked another linebacker, but that one went off the board. If we would have had our first round pick, we would have drafted him, but we had to get another defensive tackle. So do need some more safety help potentially for the future, even though we did just bring in Evan Williams. I think I'm going to do 2 more seasons after this. Don't hold me to that, but Lonzo Lowry, we're going to draft here. We drafted him at 64. He is the number 59th true value player, and he does have hidden dev player. I noticed trying to find some diamonds in the rough, and apparently we did find one. So, you're not always picking super high in the draft, so sometimes you're going to have to really, I think, dig around and just try to find some talent. I tried finding some more corners, but this would look like a really bad corner draft, and so I'm kind of glad I didn't waste my time expecting this to be a corner draft. This is like one of the few corners that's like somewhat decent. Bad zone coverage. Granted, I don't play a lot of zone when I'm playing, but this would be mostly for the sim. Good enough speed. His skills look all right. This is about where Kendrick Robertson should go. We'll see how good he is. Number 85 in true value, got him at number 96, and he has hidden dev. So, when you're picking this corner back end of every round, you have to hit, and I think we just got 2 hits right there. So we're going to go to our next pick, see how we do with that as well. I hope we can do well. I'd like to kind of get a 3rd straight really good player. Just still looking around here. Again, none of the corners look great. There is another defensive tackle here, though. Nose tackle. Do we need another defensive tackle? Great speed, great strength. I'll always draft the defensive tackle in Madden 26. Hidden dev again. You know, I mean, it is what it is. We're just gonna always draft these guys, and that's gonna do it for us. So, advance to the end of the draft. We're gonna go take a look at the draft recap, and then we're gonna load in and kind of get ready for this third official season. Actually, take a look here at the draft recap for us. How well did we do? And number 73 overall player, 71 overall player, 71 overall player. And the rest there was the CPU. So our 3 picks, we did pretty good on. Did the CPU find us any secret hidden dev players? Always got to look for that. I feel like the CPU kind of does you a solid and gets you at least one hidden dev player. But we didn't get any, but our first 3 picks were all hidden dev players. Zach Owens, take a look at his stats. 71 block shedding, so that's not particularly great. 76 play rec, that is pretty good actually. Awareness is a 71. Strength is a 90. No clue where he fits in on our roster right now, but Kendrick Robertson, 92 speed, 75 man coverage. I like that. 71 press. Again, when I do jump in, I mostly play man anyways, so if he's mostly a man cover corner, that's fine by me. So he looks pretty good, honestly. Good acceleration too at 93. And then Lonzo Lowry, free safety, probably not going to start this year. Honestly, not going to play for us this year. Good hit power though, 91 speed. What's his weight's 225. Almost wonder if this guy could play linebacker, honestly, at that weight. Be great linebacker, honestly. 86 acceleration, 66 block shed. He'd be a decent linebacker if we wanted to do that with him, but he's going to be a safety. So let's get ready for season 3, I think. I get so confused because the first half season I feel like isn't really a season, so I'm not going to count that. So I'm going to do this upcoming season, another season after that. So here we are back for year number 3 of this rebuild and offense. About the same as last year. Guys might be a little bit better. 86 overall as a total, 88 overall offense, 84 overall defense. Defensive line looks really good still. I mean, nothing else really to say there. Cornerback room, probably the best it's been of the entire rebuild. Linebacker room, pretty good, honestly. We're really good at edge. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy also has X Factor. I think we just took this guy on a flyer, Julius Favors. So, we might let one of these guys walk, honestly, when it comes time to it, because we'll just let them walk, and then we have Favors right there ready to kind of just ready to rock and roll for us. So we don't even have to pay both Dallas Turner and Abdul Carter, because you have a guy right there ready to go. That's why you should always not be afraid to draft and stack up depth, honestly. So we are looking pretty good right here. We are ready to go. This team looks good, so we'll see how we do. I'll see you at the mid-season mark. Actually, not going to see you at the mid-season mark. I'll just see you at the end of the regular season, because I feel very confident we'll make the playoffs. If we don't, I'd be shocked, honestly. And we make the playoffs like I reasonably predicted. We end up going 14-3. We've clinched home field advantage throughout the entire NFC, and our overall has really jumped up a decent bit here. We're up to an 89 overall, 91 overall offense, but that defense is finally kind of caught up to our offense in terms of overall. Take a look here at the stats and awards, and Jared Curry, second-year quarterback, 47 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I mean, just is really, really good. There's no other way to put it. He is sensational. And Justin Jefferson, 1,600 yards again. Quentin Johnson, 21 touchdowns on the season. He must have been in the slot. You got Jordan Addison playing pretty well. Pat Valentine has been really good for us. Darnell Washington's been good. Juan Valdez has just kind of never really worked out for us, if I'm being honest. But great season from Justin Jefferson. He is, I believe, in his age 30 season now, or about to enter that. So still that probably have like another year of his prime, if we're being honest. So let's see who we're playing in the divisional round, and then we'll get into that and try to see if we can win back-to-back Super Bowls here. And we're taking on the New York Giants. So we got Abdul Carter from them. They wanted Jonathan Grenard. So let's see if we can beat them and make them regret trading Abdul Carter to us. So one final kneel down, and we are going to beat the Giants here in the divisional round. We are on to the NFC Championship game. Let's see who we're facing, who's standing in our way to going back-to-back. And the team standing in our way is the Atlanta Falcons. So it's kind of like a classic NFC Championship rematch from many moons ago. I'm sure a lot of Vikings fans are not too happy with that memory. Me as a Packer fan, I think it's awesome. But let's go see if we can write history and beat the Falcons and try to move on to the Super Bowl. All right, so about midway through this NFC Championship game, we have an opportunity here to I think this is a pretty important drive right here, important opportunity. Try to keep this drive going. Going to find Valentine right there. He just sits down on the route. We pick up the first down. Keep it going. Let's see if we get another third down alert here. We're going to try to just kind of call what they ask us to here. And yeah, so 3rd and 5 here. Going to come out here in slants. Let's see if anyone blitzes. We're going to come right here. Justin Jefferson holds onto the football. Picks up another first down, and we are marching here. We have a red zone alert now. Try to get the touchdown here. Go up a couple scores. And hopefully we can defense can put this thing away from us. We get to Kendre Miller. One man to beat, and he's just going to be short of picking up the touchdown. So we're going to our play sheet here. We do have a red zone play sheet all the way up to tier 4. Let's try to run this one in with Miller, and he does. Kendre Miller gets into the end zone, gets a touchdown. Up 11 here, 4th quarter, 3rd down alert. This would probably really just put it away right here and allow us to win. So we do have a blitzing linebacker. I think I set him to the mic. I think I did. Either way, we pick up the first down. I couldn't exactly tell because they have safety back there too, but the little icon was blocking that up. So I think we picked that up. Red zone alert. Try to get a touchdown and try to ice this game and get to the Super Bowl here. Curry gonna step back on the run, and we're just gonna throw this crossbody to Justin Jefferson. He started off slow in this franchise, in this rebuild. At this point, I'll let him recover the onside kick. Don't really care. They can get another score. Doesn't matter. They do make it look a little bit better on the score sheet, but it does not matter. We win, and we are going back-to-back, going to the Super Bowl to try to go back-to-back here in this rebuild. Michael Penis Jr. lost. So we are taking on the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. That image of the Lombardi in the top stories things, that totally looks like AI. Or is that just me? Does that look like an AI-generated image to anyone else? It looks like an AI-generated image to me. You're the only NFL game you have rights to use pictures of the Lombardi Trophy from whenever, and you choose an AI-generated image. Absolutely lazy stuff there. Let's go try to win another Super Bowl. All right, so we are about through this Super Bowl here. We are in a very, very nice opportunity here to, I think, kind of put this one away here. Right here in the 3rd quarter, I think a touchdown would absolutely clinch this thing right here, right now. We're going to send Valentine in motion, see if we can get anything. And there we go. Just a nice hole in the zone right there. Touchdown. That was too easy. Just had to buy a little bit of time. And we get it to Pat Valentine for the score. And we're going to come and play a little bit of defense here. We're going to send some pressure here on Josh Allen. I believe in this franchise, in this rebuild, the Bills have won a Super Bowl already, so this isn't that devastating for them. And we get an interception, and he is familiar with this man, Azariah Thomas, from the Jets. One of those guys that when we kind of tore this thing down a little bit, that we did trade for. He gets the interception. That is basically going to seal this Super Bowl for us. They're still fighting here, but I don't think it's going to matter at all. They can go for it right there. It's over. It's over. 34, to 15. We beat the Buffalo Bills, and we go back-to-back Super Bowl championships here. And we are going to do a really condensed off season here, and we're gonna just see if we can get through one more Super Bowl, see if we can do a three-peat, 3 in a row. We're going for it. Do have a retirement to deal with. It's going to be weak inside linebacker Drew Tranquil. He calls it a career. It's actually simulated pretty good for us. Take a look at some of these other ones. Hold on. Okay, so I think I was talking about some of these other retirements here. We got Drew Tranquil. We're also going to have Jonathan Allen, former Viking, retire. We did trade him. I'm not sure if we did trade him to the Saints. I'm kind of blanking. Andrew Van Ginkel ends up retiring as well, former Vikings player. If there's any other, Jonathan Grenard retires after 9 years with the Giants. We traded him for Abdul Carter. Dak retires. At this point, so you see you're kind of getting long in the tooth. You get an idea of kind of what this will look like as you go throughout your franchise. So as of right now, we have $120 million in cap space. I shudder to think what our free agents, our potential free agents look like. And Justin Jefferson, Dallas Turner, Azariah Thomas, Garrett Kirkpatrick, we aren't going to accept that option. This is where things start to get a little difficult. Byron Murphy, we're probably not going to bring back. We got Ty Felton, Billy Bowman Jr., Kendre Miller, Jermaine Trotter. Some of these guys now starting to get a little bit older. So we don't have to bring back all of these guys, right? I would like to bring back Dallas Turner. I know we have a guy waiting in the wings, but I would like to bring back Dallas Turner. Justin Jefferson, that's going to be a tough one. We're going to offer him the contract, see if he's interested, and he's just not interested in signing 2 Super Bowls, and Justin Jefferson's like deuces. So I do think potentially maybe trying to keep Dallas Turner around, I think is a little bit more important. I know we have that other guy, but he's going to test out free agency. Okay. Let's see if Thomas is willing to stick around. He had that big interception in the Super Bowl. Is he willing to stick around? He's also thinks free agency. I'm not sure why guys aren't re-signing. Ty Felton has been solid for us. And he's willing to re-sign. So now we have to decide who are we franchise tagging here for a year. So the franchise tag for Turner would be $46 million. A franchise tag for Justin Jefferson would be $47.5 million. I think Superstar X Factor. Let's see if that guy still actually has Superstar X Factor. That other player. I'm blanking on his name. I'm interested if he actually still has it. And he does. So I think we can let Dallas Turner walk. As difficult as that is, I think we can let him walk because we have a player kind of waiting in the wings. Right? That was kind of our plan. So we are going to bring back Justin Jefferson. We are going to franchise tag him. And that's what we're going to do. Josh Metellus, he's going to test free agency. So you think, I really don't know what their deal is. It doesn't say. And his biggest motivator as a 26-year-old is not having a mentor. Okay. Billy Bowman Jr. and a little bit of money. He's willing to come back. He's probably going to take Byron Murphy's job. So then Kendre Miller, our starting running back, I would like to bring back, and he's going to come back. So we're going to lose some pieces here, but nothing that's too important. I mean, losing Dallas Turner absolutely does suck. But again, that's why you have depth. So we're going to tag Justin Jefferson, bring him back. That's why you have the depth. That's why, at times maybe you don't mind drafting a player at a position you already have, especially when you have, guys who are young, but maybe they might walk in free agency. So Dallas Turner is the belle of the ball in terms of the free agent class here. So is Azariah Thomas. I would love to get him back, just to have him back with us. We'll go player friendly. I mean, we're going to offer him a ton of money to come back. I think he is just entering his prime. I think that's really the only deal I want to do. I don't think we can even offer Dallas Turner anything substantial. Just a guy who's going to have to walk. I mean, it is what it is at this point with that. It sucks. Would have loved to have brought him back, but he didn't want to come back. So it is what it is. Julian Blackmon is a little bit older, but he should slot in pretty well if he signs with us. As kind of that strong safety. We're good at free safety. We have Evan Williams and Lonzo Lowry over there, so those guys should be pretty good. They should hold that down. And then weak inside linebacker, I will bring another one in. I do think these guys matter for the sim. I don't, like, again, if I was actually playing the game, these guys probably never get on the field, but I feel like they matter in the sim for some reason. I don't know why that is. It does seem to work out that way, that they just seem to make a difference in the sim. These sorts of positions. We'll bring in another linebacker, and I think that's going to do it, honestly. I don't think we're going to bring in anything else. Wide receiver, I think we're good at wide receiver. We don't need to bring anyone else in, so let's run through these, let's evaluate these offers. We do get Julian Blackmon. So I'm going to assume Azareya Thomas did not sign with us, and he signs with the Dolphins. He wanted to be in a warm weather place that badly. He decided to go sign with the Dolphins. You know, Minnesota isn't for everybody. So I do need another corner, and I'm not sure who that's going to be. Again, the thing that really matters is this play rec rating. This is so important for these guys. And maybe it'll be just bringing back Byron Murphy. And Byron Murphy does come back to the Vikings. Safety. My signings. So we get Byron Murphy, we get Micah McFadden, and we get Julian Blackmon. I'm just messing up all of these guys' names right now. So that might do it for, I think that's probably going to do it for free agency, and I think we're just going to call it right there. Where did Dallas Turner goes to the Rams, so I think that's less money than we've can offered him. That's starting to get like really annoying with this game. These guys do care about money. I don't think I mean, location matters to an extent, but in a game like football, especially defensive players, money talks. So these guys really should not be signing for way less money than what we offered him. I think we offered him way more money. I think we offered Azareya Thomas way more money. These guys take the money. They don't. I think location is a little bit overrated. This isn't the NBA where these guys all want to be in these big markets because they're going to be stars and none of them end up being stars. So that's just a little rant by me. It's a little annoying. I know I can turn that feature off, but I guess that's a way to keep it from being cheesy. I don't know. All right, so we're going to make a trade, a 2030 first round pick, a 2029 second, and a 2030 second for Kool-Aid McKinstry. It's probably a lot, maybe a little too much for a player of his stature, but I do think we needed to get another body in that corner room, and I think Kool-Aid McKinstry kind of is that player, honestly. So we come back here, and again, this corner room still is, I think, really good, honestly. So I think that's a move that we needed to make. And I'm pretty happy with the move, honestly. So I think we look pretty good here via free agency. So on to what we can find in the draft for this final year. So the final first round pick of our rebuild here is going to be this weak inside linebacker. It is going to be Steven Bishop here, and he does have hidden dev, 87 speed. Again, I have no idea if this guy will actually play. It's just more the fact that these guys are strangely, I think what I've seen, they are just really important to the sim. I just think they seem to be a strong part of the sim. So we don't pick again all the way until the end of round 3, which we're willing to do because we did get a really good corner in Kool-Aid McKinstry. Again, kind of just, I think, solidifying our corner room. Let's see if there's anything here. And wait a minute here. What is this? Trevante Dorsey, 5'10" out of East Carolina, top 5 talent. We're going to take him right here. He is number 5 in true value. Get him all the way at 96 at the end of the 3rd round. Amazing athlete, 94 speed, 90 acceleration, 89 jumping, hidden dev. Everything looks great here. That's an awesome pick, honestly. And again, doesn't really matter that we traded that pick and we get Kool-Aid McKinstry and we still ended up getting a corner of the future. I don't know if he'll play in this upcoming season at all, but it doesn't really matter when you get a player like that. And there is another corner here, honestly, around 1 to 2 talent. Gonna bring him on as well. Actually, his stuff doesn't look that good. We're not doing that. He looks kind of ass, if I'm being honest here. We did scout running backs. Again, I just feel like I've never seen any good running backs in these draft classes, if I'm being entirely honest. Receivers, you know, did anyone run like a good 40 time, I guess? At this point, like, I feel like at this point in the draft, this is like all that matters is like, hey, did someone run a good 40? And this guy did run a good 40, ran a 4.36. We'll take him just based off the speed. I have no idea if he's any good, but Rick number 65 in true value, 93 speed. No idea where he fits in for us, but it's a player. So advance to the end of the draft. Let's go take a quick look at what we've put together, and then I'll put together the team for the final season. And then we're just going to simulate straight to playoffs, kind of see how we do, see if we can get to the playoffs and just have a shot at going back to back, three-peat. And Stephen Bishop, a 74 overall, 79 overall rookie. And then even that receiver we took was pretty good. Took a pretty good left guard here as well. And then a tackle and a running back. But pretty good draft class, all things considered, especially this corner, Trevante Dorsey. And his ratings are very, very good. I mean, for a rookie, I mean, this is what you love to see. Late round steal, honestly. Those are so important, especially for a team that is kind of where we are, right? A little bit limited by cap. Got to make moves. Players are going to want to get paid. So you have to find those late round steals. We have older veterans on this team, and that's kind of the lifeblood. That's how good teams stay good. Let's find those late round steals. So let's get in for the final year here. So final year of the rebuild here. Here is the roster. Not really changed from last year at all in terms of like starters or anything like that. Esperanza might have some potential. I do wonder if Justin Jefferson has the mentor tag on him. I don't know if he does. I don't think he does. No, it still says award winner, but it seems like Esperanza was getting some pretty good XP gains. So I don't know. Offensive line is basically the same it's been. We've built it up pretty well. I mean, Peppers was kind of a pick that the CPU made for me, so appreciate that. Torres has been good. We have great depth at guard, actually, so we're pretty good here, honestly. The defense, I think, sneakily might be the best defense we've had, just because the corner room is so deep, honestly. We are super deep at corner. Really good at safety, good at linebacker, actually. So Favors going to take over that other edge position. We did also bring in Joey Bosa as well, just for some extra depth. This defensive line, none of these guys have like ever broken out into superstar, but they're all just like really awesome. So we're great there. We are 89 overall, 92 overall offense, 87 overall defense. That'd be a real concern if we were 57 overall, but we are just going to sim to the playoffs, see if we make it, and I'll see you there. All right, so we do make the playoffs. I don't think there was any question about that, but we are the number 1 seed, and the rest of the NFC kind of sucks, honestly. Only one other double-digit winner, actually, in the NFC, and that was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So potentially a really easy path forward for us in the playoffs. Take a look at these final year stats, and 51 touchdowns to 8 interceptions for Jared Curry. Kendre Miller was with a season, 16 touchdowns. I don't get why he's not getting a lot of yards. Maybe it's the playbook. I don't know. 1,700 yards for Justin Jefferson, a guy who didn't even want to be here. Quentin Johnston, 24 touchdowns. It's weird that he's been so good for us just because of the slot cheese, but it's just kind of interesting that he has never gotten like a dev trait upgrade with us. Very odd. And then how do we do here on defense? Abdul Carter, 14.5 sacks. Eric Whitaker, 11.5 sacks. DeMarcus Hardison, 7.5. Julius Favors with 5 sacks. Lonzo Lowry with 3.5 sacks. Rashad Sweet, 3.5. Kirkpatrick. A lot of guys getting in on the action here. And then defensively, Kool-Aid McKinstry immediately making an impact here with us. 4 interceptions on the season. Kirkpatrick, Murphy, Lowry. So you just love seeing that. And Trevante Dorsey as well, getting an interception, getting in on it a little bit. He did not play too much, I don't think, this season. Actually, he did play 325 downs, but you see again, these guys doing all that. So I'm going to do these upgrades, and then we'll see who we're playing in the divisional round. Okay, so we are taking on the Los Angeles Rams, 9-8. They did steal, I believe it was Dallas Turner away from us. He said he wanted to win Super Bowls, even though he had already won 2 with us. We're just going to simply advance this game, see if we can beat the Rams. I believe we've beaten them a few times in the playoffs, honestly, at least once already. But we do beat them, and we move on to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I will go into that game, do the play of the moments for that, but we are just going to, do our weekly strategy. We have like platinumed all of these. I don't know if it's platinumed, tier forward all the abilities for us, but again, super easy stuff. I mean, it was a close game, 31-27. Probably would have been not as close if we played, but Julian Blackman, do that upgrade right there, and we are going to jump in, play the conference championship. Let's see if we can go back to back to back in terms of going to the Super Bowl. All right, we are here in the NFC Championship game. It is the 4th quarter, 3rd and 2, and we have an opportunity here to pick up this first down, maybe get a touchdown. We fumble the football into the end zone, and they are going to get the ball at the 1. And they're going for it on 4th down. I don't blame them, honestly. And we're going to come out here, play some coverage, and try to get off the field. They still have Baker Mayfield. We go for that here. And we can't get the interception, but we do get the pass breakup right there. So we're going to take over. And now we're going to look to potentially punch this thing in here and put this game away. They've been playing us very tough. And Curry gets it on the keeper. Touchdown, Vikings. And that should about do it. We're going to come in here for this final play and just try to finish us off. Look, we have Bosa out here. Try to finish this thing off. And that's going to be short of the first down. We're going to take over, and we are going to win this game 24-7. We are going to our 3rd straight Super Bowl to try to complete the three-peat and secure our place in history. So we're going to be taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in our final game of this rebuild. Can we get the three-peat secured here against the Steelers? Let's find out. All right, in the Super Bowl, we currently lead the Steelers 14-7. We're going to send Valentine in motion here, try to get him on this touchdown. He fights through all of that contact. Pat Valentine, what a pick that has been. Honestly, it's saying that, again, it's my one disappointment with the sim engine where it just feels like it doesn't value. It values tight ends, but I still have never seen a tight end just go off like 1,000-yard season. I feel like that should happen a little bit more in this game. So now we come back, have an opportunity here to pick up this first down and try to basically seal this game And we're going to go up here. Quentin Johnston, he has turned into an X Factor, actually. I just noticed that popped underneath him. So at some point in time, he went up to Superstar, and then he went up to Superstar X Factor. Not sure when that happened, but we get a touchdown right there to Quentin Johnston, who has completely probably turned around how people think about his career here in Minnesota. And they do get a touchdown. They're going to go for an onside kick. Red zone alert here. We're going to come in and we're going to try to just get they must have just used their last timeout. We're going to go for the kill shot here. Try to see if we can we throw one up to Valentine, and he can't come down with it. I hate that tight ends and players can't come down with those. I don't understand that. That's really, I know that's for comp. No one cares about comp Madden. Like, you guys flew out a bajillion people to Madrid. No one watched. No one gave it. I'm probably saying this right now. This is the first time you're hearing about this. There was a big tournament in Madrid, Spain. They flew a bunch of pro Madden players out there. Nobody watched it. And the game has to have shit like that in there to appease those guys. Either way, we get a touchdown later anyways to Quentin Johnson again, who is absolutely tearing up the Steelers team in this Super Bowl, and we are way ahead now. They're going to go for this here on inches. We're going to come in, play one defensive play of the moment here. I'm going to assume this is going to be like a run up the middle. We're here with McFadden. Can we seal it? We do. We shut that thing down. I believe that is Favors, who, that's why we were able to let Dallas Turner leave, and he just shot right in there. Absolutely wrecked that play with the old school kind of Jonathan Randall uniforms on here, and we complete the three-peat. Third Super Bowl win for the Vikings, 3 in a row for the Minnesota Vikings. And there we go, a dynasty in Minnesota. I'm sure they can finally go on a sex boat and have a really good time celebrating this. You didn't think I was going to get through an entire Vikings rebuild and not mention the sex boat, did you? You thought I was going to wait and not mention that? You think I wasn't going to mention the Viking sex boat? I just realized this Super Bowl is taking place at US Bank Stadium. So the Vikings win a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So really good stuff right there. And let's go take a look at this final roster and just kind of see where it's at. So this is the final team as we leave it here, as we finish this rebuild. And we have built a absolute juggernaut here. Pat Valentine finally goes up to Superstar. I feel like that just takes a little too long. I feel like some of these linemen should get some more upgrades too in terms of their dev trades. I'm not sure how that would be balanced, but Quentin Johnston ends up going up to a Superstar X Factor. Yeah, I mean, absolutely awesome stuff here. I mean, this team has worked out pretty well, honestly, once we got the right quarterback in place. I'm not sure where JJ McCarthy ended up. Maybe he's selling insurance or something. I don't know, but this defensive line is sick, nasty, awesome stuff. Edge rushers, Abdul Carter up to X Factor as well. And Trevante Dorsey is a X Factor. So again, this defense has more young players just waiting in the wings to take off here. And yeah, this rebuild really has worked out well. Tried doing it with JJ McCarthy, but we couldn't get it done with him, and we had to move to Gerard. I keep saying his name's Jared. I'm sure it's actually Gerard. But Gerard Curry, I'll say it right now, is the quarterback who led the Vikings to 3 straight Super Bowls, and this team is probably reared up. Honestly, there's probably a way that we could try to get 4 in a row, but we're not, because I don't need this video to be too long, so it's probably already really long. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If I get this one up before Thanksgiving, or even maybe I get it up on Thanksgiving, I don't know, but I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. Spend it with your family. Watch this video first, leave a like on it, and all the other good stuff. Watch my other videos, and all that other good stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.